Hey guys, good morning. Just getting back into the posting of the videos for the NFL site with the Facebook and the YouTube videos. Today we're going to cover the NFC South, and just like every other time, we're going to go from who I think is going to finish last in that division and go all the way to first. And last, I'm living down here in South Carolina right now. A lot of people won't like this, but I got your Panthers. You guys didn't have any key losses this time, but to me that's not a good thing. I don't think you had that many players that would be known as a key loss. You got a couple people on defense that you got to keep. You've got Cam Newton, who's not a free agent yet. You got Steve Smith, who's not a free agent. And if those individuals left, I think that'd be a key loss. But that is honestly about all I think you would have that would be a key loss. Ron Rivera, your head coach, helped you to 7-9 last year. The year before last, you came out like a firecracker. You exploded on the scene and everything else, and everyone thought, wow, the Panthers are for real. The problem is, if you look 2 years ago towards the end of the season, Cam Newton started to get found out, started to get his system figured out, and you saw it really big time this last year. My fear is, and I'm not saying he's a Ryan Leaf, but if you've seen his interviews, especially after games, after losses, after multiple losses, you see the Cam Newton that could be the Ryan Leaf starting to throw fits. It's not him. Somebody better fix this. Somebody better do something. Cam Newton's not losing. And it goes on and on. It's not the type of player that I would personally want on my team, or for that matter on anyone's team except for maybe my rival team of the Steelers. I got to get a little bashing in that, guys. Sorry. You did sign Ted Glenn. I think that was a really good pickup for you guys. And like I said, if you finish 7-9 again, I think that's good. I think it's going to be a lot worse this year. I think Cam is going to continue his self-destruction, and until someone can grab hold of this young quarterback and get his head on straight, it's just going to be a spiral downhill. For your first round pick, you're setting at number 14, and I really think you guys are going to pick up a defensive tackle out of Missouri, Sheldon Richardson. I think it will help shore up the defense there a little bit. And your defense probably is one of the bright spots. Steve Smith is your offense. You got way too many running backs right now that you're paying way too much money for. I think you need to do a couple trades. Maybe you can get some second-round draft picks, maybe a third round. You're not going to get a first round for any of your running backs. In fact, let's take a look at the list here if I've got it. And I know you got Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams, and even though they have Mike Tolbert listed as a fullback, they use him. He's used as a running back. So I think that's too many running backs in the backfield. I think you need to get rid of one of those guys. Who? Not sure, but they probably won't do it. They'll probably just keep all of them and waste the money, the cap space, and everything else. Number 3, I've got Tampa Bay Bucks, and Tampa Bay has done a lot of good things. One of the things that didn't really make the headlines, anybody who followed football for a long time knows the name Brian Cox, just a nasty pass rusher, and they signed him this year to be the pass rush specialist for the defense. So I think he can really help your D-line, and even your outside linebackers just get a little bit of a nasty attitude, nasty feel to them. Also, you re-signed LeGarrette Blount. And I know after Doug Martin was signed last year, Blount kind of made a big deal of it, everything else, he's the main guy, yada, yada, yada. And then after the year went through, he realized, hey, this guy is the #1 running back. Blount he knows the system, he's working into the system, and I think they can get a little bit more of that thunder and lightning combo that you love to see out of your backfield with LeGarrette Blount just down there on the goal line, just hitting people. And then, of course, Doug Martin, just, if he breaks free past 2 people and he's gone. He's a fun guy to watch. You didn't have a lot of big name free agent signings, but what you did get, you had a lot of good, solid signings. You signed Tom Crabtree as a tight end. You signed Zach Miller as a tight end. You got Steve Smith, the one for Carolina. He played for New York, and then I believe he played for I think it was St. Louis last year. You got Kevin Ogletree. Again, these 4 names aren't huge show-stopping names, but what they are is help for Josh Freeman. I think you're going to go after more help in the first round, and by that I mean I think you're going to go out there and I think you're going to pick up at number 13, wide receiver out of West Virginia, Tavon Austin. Everybody's tabbing him as the next Percy Harvin. He's one of those guys that just get him the ball, he'll make something happen. He's exciting and everything else. This is the second year for Greg Schiano, your head coach. Last year you guys were 7-9. The biggest problem you had last year, Josh Freeman's confidence. You keep his confidence up. This is a 8, 9, 10 win team, honestly, but it's all going to depend on Freeman. This is one of those situations where the defense is good. The defense is getting better every time. You're getting plenty of help around that quarterback, and I think if you can keep that quarterback, that young quarterback's mind solid, focused, everything else, you're looking for a great turnout this year. So good luck to that, Tampa. I think like I said, I think you guys can have a great season. I can see you actually in second in this division, but it just depends on Freeman. Second's good enough to get you a wild card spot. Second place, I had to go back and forth a little bit on this just because I love Drew Brees. He's one of those short guys, but he doesn't care. You know, he's not the mold setter or the mold standard. He's the mold breaker. And you know, Peyton's back. Head coach Sean Payton. He was off last year due to the suspensions. But it's one of those things that, hey, look, check it out. I had to pick one, and I went with the Saints for number 2. Key losses. You lost a couple guys thanks to your cap space, your cap management, and one of those key losses was Will Smith. These guys, the guys you lost was kind of getting up there in age, so maybe it wasn't that big of a factor. That's why I'm not concerned as much with your key losses. I love the fact that you signed Benjamin Watson. He was a tight end for Cleveland last year, and now you're going to have him playing the opposite side of Jimmy Graham. Then you factor in, you know, you got Colston and all those other receivers. You got Breeze back there. You got Sproles in the backfield with his other 3 running back buddies, and that's probably the one system I know that you can have 4 good running backs and it work. I think this is a year of revenge for the New Orleans Saints. I'm not saying they could easily finish first. They haven't done a lot of additions. I think the biggest thing that's going to help them, like I said, is Sean Payton coming back. This year you're at number 15 on your first round pick, and I think you're going to shore up the defense there a little bit. There's a defensive end out at LSU, Mingo. I think he's a good fit for the defense. I think he can really help you guys out. So that puts us at number 1. And of course, that's the Atlanta Falcons is who I have it. They wanted, I believe they won it last year as well. They went deep in the playoffs. Yeah, they did, because they were dominating last year. Big pickups. You know, when you look at first off, let's look at the key losses. And it wasn't losses to free agency, it was losses once again to the cap. And you're looking at Michael Turner, John Abraham, Dante Robinson. All these guys, they could all help. They all were still producing. But I think the team needed to get younger. They wanted to get younger. When you look at teams like Pittsburgh and Baltimore, the defense is getting older. The teams are getting older, and you want to keep that as a business aspect. You want to keep it rotating. You want to keep these guys in and out, and you want to know when it's time to get rid of them. And I think Atlanta probably did a good job. Abraham was one. I was like, wow, you could probably get a couple good more seasons. Robinson as well, but I think it was a cap space issue. Mike Smith together with Arthur Blank, this is a great duo for a head coach and owner. I did like the fact that you picked up Umenyiora. I didn't like the fact you picked up Steven Jackson. This is the one running back out there who everybody was really high on. My only fear with Steven Jackson is this man has a lot of miles on his legs. I mean a lot. I don't have the exact stats specifically, but he's one of those X factors to me. Could go into Atlanta and chance to play for a Super Bowl ring, really fire him up and get him, get you 1-2 more great years out of his legs, or is he getting ready to hit that barrier where, that 27 to 30 barrier for certain running backs is all downhill after that point, and he's on the latter half of that. First round pick, you're sitting there at number 30. And you brought Gonzo back. You got him to come back for one more year. I thought that was awesome. But I think also you're going to take another tight end at number 30, Eifert out of Notre Dame. I think he's great to study under Gonzo before Gonzo leaves, and is going to help old Matty Ice and the rest of that team further on down the road. So that's my take on the NFC South. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, as always, if you got comments, questions, suggestions, throw them in the comments box. Also, the Facebook page, just throw it in the comments box on there. I check both on a regular. So hope you guys have a great Sunday and take it easy.